Hallo aus den Walt Disney Studios hier in Los Angeles. Ich stelle euch heute einen meiner ganz persönlichen Lieblingsfilme vor.
Ah, da sind Sie. Endlich. Oh, mein gutes Mädchen. Sie glauben gar nicht, wie sehr ich mich freue, Sie endlich kennenzulernen.
Es ist mir eine Ehre, Mr. Disney.
Oh, Walt. Bitte, Walt.
Nick, we know that this movie was really important to Mr. Disney himself. Why was that?
This movie was important for Walt Disney on a number of different reasons. I think most importantly because it was a story that was near and dear to his heart. He had some strong personal ties to Mary Poppins, and that was something that kind of resonated with him for years, and he had for years wanted to make this film. And also, it was a film where he was able to take a bunch of risks from a filmmaking perspective, incorporating live action and animation, and telling the story in the way in which he envisioned that he wanted to tell the story, I think was something that was attractive, and he definitely wanted to make this film.
And now we're actually standing in front of Walt Disney's desk, right?
Yes and no. This is actually a reproduction piece that was made for the production of Saving Mr. Banks, but it was actually replicated off Walt Disney's original desk. The Walt Disney Archives in 1970 was able to go into Walt Disney's office here in the Walt Disney Studio lot, and they were able to catalog and research and document everything that was in his office. Years later, when this Saving Mr. Banks was being made, we then provided the art department the various photographs and documents so that they can go ahead and recreate this particular piece here, just so it was an exact match as to Walt Disney's desk.
B.L. Travers, hier in meinem Büro, nach wie vielen Jahren? 20?
Ja.
20 lange Jahre. Ja, Sie hätten mich damals sehen sollen, Pam.
I know that you're very in love with details.
Yes.
You told me before that even the books had to be the way they were at Walt Disney's office, right?
Exactly, and even if you look on the figurines here, the figurines on the back of his desk are positioned exactly as they were when you look at the historic photographs of Walt Disney's office. And that was something that we in the archives and also the production crew for Saving Mr. Banks, they were very much mindful of that, and they wanted to make sure that when something was done, when this set, for example, was created, that it was done exactly to the exact point that it was in Walt Disney's office.
Nichts ist schöner, als die Welt durch die Augen eines Kindes zu sehen. Und steckt nicht in jedem von uns ein Kind?
Vielleicht in Ihnen, Mr. Disney, aber ganz gewiss nicht in mir.
Now, when you take a look at this picture over here, you have Tom Hanks sitting there right now, but actually that was Walt Disney, right?
That is actually a reproduction of a historic photograph, and that's one that exists today where you can see Walt Disney sitting with the Mouseketeers in that exact same position. But for the purpose of this film, again, going back to the point that the art department and the creative minds associated with Saving Mr. Banks, they wanted to make sure that it was done right. So when they wanted to put together this picture, for example, they wanted to just replicate that to the utmost detail, and you can see the end result looks pretty impressive.
I'm guessing you didn't know Walt Disney himself.
I did not. Unfortunately, I did not. I missed that one, yeah.
But you know a lot about him.
Yes, working in the archives, yes, definitely.
What would you say, how would he react if he knew that this movie was made now, if he could see it himself?
That is a great question. I think Walt Disney, being who he is, I'm sure he would have something to say about it. I'm sure he would offer some suggestions. But I also think that if he were to see that today, I think he would definitely appreciate the fact that the production crew was so diligent in making sure that the story was told right, and they worked with the Walt Disney Archives. I think he would definitely applaud that. So, yeah.
Thank you so much, Nick. It was great talking to you.
Likewise. Thank you for having me.
Thank you. Ab dem 6. März könnt ihr Saving Mr. Banks, wenn der Wind sich dreht, in den deutschen Kinos erleben. Es ist es auf jeden Fall wert. Und kleiner Tipp, bleibt bis zum Ende, denn da wartet noch eine Überraschung auf euch.